O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judges, and none can judge against Thee, and he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee, and I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
You belong to yourself. You're an independent people, created from the nation of free people. Yes, sir. You don't need to go nowhere but to yourself. Yes, sir. There will be a great separation. Yes, sir. So I said, it is on now.
The college is meant to prepare you for your future. That the time dictates that if we don't do something for ourselves as a people, we will be destroyed. And the aim of the enemy right now is to take us out.
We have God with us. We have Him as our guide. Yes, sir. We don't have to stand around here and ask the question, what must be done? Yes, sir. Let's go and do something. Yes, sir. We cannot sit down. We cannot lay down. Yes, sir. We must get up. Yes, sir. And go to work.
Do you know what real joy is in life? Visioning something and bringing it into reality. That's real joy. Do you know what the next step in joy is? Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell in unity.
Tonight, you need to fasten your seatbelts. We're going to hear from some of the greatest minds in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of trusting our future and the future of our children into the hands of those who don't love us. I believe we need to revitalize black leadership.
Muslims, you shouldn't be around here looking to white people to give you a job. Go look in message to the black man and the economic blueprint. And if there are 4 of you, 6 of you, 8 of you together, pool your resources, go into business and set up business all over the south and west side of Chicago. But if you poor and we poor, hell man, we can't be around here poor. I want to see rich Muslims. And if you obey Allah, there's no reason why you can't make a business successful. You just have to get up and stop being lazy and trifling and go do something for yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, family. I'm Sister Sajda Muhammad, and welcome to the MOEToday series on Black Muslim businesses. I'm so excited. You are in for a treat today. There's so many of us that are in business and who have been in business for so many years, and things evolve and things change. But I think in the last 5 to 10 years, we've seen the greatest shift in the exchange of information that we've ever seen in the modern day business world. And so now we have influencers and content creators and people who can bring expertise to us on how to market our brands, our services, and introduce much needed goods and services into our community. But guess what? It doesn't necessarily take a college degree to do that. They may not look the way we think they should look. In fact, about it, I challenge all of us. I tell everyone that the Black Muslim Business Directory and the Black Muslim businesses are a new and emerging market that you should get to know. But guess what? When you're talking about people from a marginalized community who have traditionally not been allowed to participate in the normal vicissitudes of business life, they're some of your greatest influencers, some of your greatest content creators, and some of the people who can show you how to market a product or service in a way that you never thought of before. And so today we're going to be talking to my brilliant sister, an incredible young entrepreneur. But before I bring her on, I have a little video I just kind of jacked from her Instagram page. Hope she don't mind. She in there laughing, but hope she don't mind, because I want you to understand what we're dealing with. So don't discount people because they might be younger than you. You may feel like they don't have 50 years of experience in business or 20 years or 10 years, but they absolutely know how to navigate this new world of information in ways that many of us were not taught as we travel through the business world. So check this out. I just want you to listen to this.
Paid to exist. Like, I'm so serious. I would not lie to y'all. Here are 3 reasons why you need to start creating content today. Do you know that the average person spends at least 2 hours a day on social media? We watch more people on the internet than we do on TV now. And if you're really serious about changing the reality of your life, you're going to have to start thinking of other ways to generate income. Which brings us into the second point, which is you can literally get paid to create content. Watch numerous people do nothing more than share their day-to-day life on TikTok and are getting thousands of dollars a month from doing nothing but sharing their life. And not even just from getting paid from these platforms. If you offer a product, if you have something type of service you can offer people, you can literally reach thousands of people every single day and get potential clients. Which leads me to the third reason why you need to start creating content. It's because content is the new resume. Well, more so social media. You all will be amazed at how many YouTubers who have never stepped foot in an acting class got paid to create movies. And speaking for myself, I literally got hired by a $1 million business to create content simply because they saw my social media platforms. My name is AnNura, and I want to teach you how to become a content creator. I'm at home now, but click the link in our bio to check out our free introductory course.
And guess what? She offers classes on how to do that. Sister AnNura, I am so excited to talk to you today. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. All
I'm so proud of you. I could go through the roof, girl.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you for that warm introduction.
Did you just say content is the new resume?
Yeah. I honestly think social media.
What that means, because many of us are old school. We used to take it on resume and drop it off somewhere and hope somebody looks at it. And we used to have resume writing classes and all of this stuff. But now you're saying content is the new resume? What the?
Yes, ma'am. At least from my opinion, from a creative's point of view, and not even just creatives, honestly. Because when you think about it, social media opens you up to the entire world. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be an actor one day, let's say you start a YouTube channel and you create skits. Mm-hmm. You create skits, you do it at least once a week or every day for a week, for months. and you gain traction, you get subscribers, you get people who want to support you because they like what you're doing, especially if you do something that people have never seen any before. Like for example, if you use the teachings of the Most High Elijah Muhammad and create skits from that, you're gonna blow up because again, that's something no one has ever really seen on the internet before.
Yes.
So let's say you do that for a few years. Someone like Tyler Perry sees one of your skits and he thinks that you are an amazing actor. He thinks that you're an amazing writer. He brings you on his team, and now you're an actor. You're a paid actor simply because you built up this resume on YouTube of everything that you've done um, over the last few years, just because you had an idea, and instead of typing up videos that you did, you have the actual visual representations of everything that you've done for the last few years. So, and
That's
there's actually
so smart, sis. I can bear witness to that because in 2009, I started the Mind of an Entrepreneur brand. I started getting paid from streaming on my podcast. And then that went from, I got a syndicated radio show that was going all around the world. That's from creating that weekly content and putting it out there. And I've gotten speaking engagements from it and doing that, like all while still actually working and working my business. Like, and then you get to the point where you get in the flow of content creation. And next thing you know, you got a whole library of stuff. The reason why I really love what you're teaching and I love what people like yourself and Brother Ben X are offering to people is because a lot of people don't understand that we've shifted. You probably don't even know the world where you had to take a paper resume or go somewhere and fill out an application, but some people are still stuck in that world. But they worry because they don't trust the internet. And talk about the advantages. You touched on it a little bit about it giving you access to a global audience that you probably would never have had. But talk about the advantages of using the internet.
I mean, as I said, it puts you in front of so many people, and you never really know who's watching you. You never really know who you're going to impact just from you showing up as you in the marketplace.
That's
And
right.
even if you don't really know what you want to do with your life, for me, when I first started my entrepreneurship journey, it started with painting and just, being creative with the arts because that's what I wanted to do.
You
But
wanted
as
to
I
be an
thought,
artist. You grew up thinking, okay,
well,
what do you think?
when I started my entrepreneurship journey, I just was like, because I didn't want to go to school because I really didn't know what I wanted to do in my life anymore. I was just like, what, I want to join the nation and I'm going to make this art thing a business. So I just put all of my energy into doing that, learning how to create the content because I was inspired by Brother Ben X actually to start the content creation journey from the get go. I saw that he was able to do it and I was like, if he can do it, I can do it too. So, starting that journey, that started with the art. And then I started homeschooling my brother, and then I just documented that. I have some videos on YouTube from like 3 years ago of me homeschooling him. And then from there, I got this idea that I should start vlogging, this whole journey of being in the Nation of Islam, and just being young and preparing for motherhood and whatnot. So I started doing that, and then I no longer wanted to do that. And then I got into doing t-shirts and just documenting everything that I've been going through pretty much for the last 4 years. Not only was that just me sharing with the world, what happens when you're an entrepreneur and you're a creative, you have all these ideas and you just want to jump on them, but it's building a community. So now I have people who've been following me for 4 years now, that when I have something like, my social media managing business, once it's like established and all put together, I have people who's been following me for 4 years now that have seen the journey and they see how this works and how me being on the internet opened up the world of opportunities for me. Like things, again, like I said in the clip, I got hired to work at $1 million company just because I created TikToks.
Look at that.
Like that blew my mind. And I had a really hard time accepting the fact that that was my reality for
Mm.
like once while I was doing the work, because it was just like I didn't see nothing of creating the videos. It's just like it doesn't take me that much time to do it.
So you
But
weren't afraid
to create the content,
to just be seen all the time.
I was at first.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I was absolutely terrified. I stayed. I'm a really shy person at my core, but at the same time I'm not. It's like two
Mm-hmm.
fires. Um, but I did have a little bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But something in me when I was a few years back, I think I was like 19, 18. Something in me was like, look, if you know you want to be successful, you know you want to, be a successful businesswoman one day, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to have to get out of this shell. And I also felt as if me not showing my authentic self was holding me back. And
Uh-huh.
instantly, once I started doing the funny TikToks, once I started sharing my mind, that's when everything opened up for me.
So
So
your
it took me,
authenticity is what opened those doors and kind of cleared those road blockages.
yes, ma'am. And even now with, my social media business, I'm I spent a really long time just sitting trying to strategize type of content and stuff to put together. And then actually just this morning, or really last night, I was just like, you know what, AnNura, teach authenticity. That's literally what I believe my mission to be, to accept my own and be myself,
Yeah.
because I feel like I embody that, or at least I'm striving to. And I just feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. Like I'm just supposed to share my story, share how I'm doing this, and inshallah inspire other people to do the same.
I love
So,
what you're saying because Honora, when I was growing up, one of the things that, I grew up in an era where people used to get whoopings, right? So what caused you to get a whooping was in my house was if you were phony and you weren't your authentic self.
mm,
Hated followers. Like
wow.
you got in trouble because you did something that because of somebody else, that was worse trouble than getting in trouble on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I then became of age, I started a brand called The Authentic You
Mm,
and monetizing your authenticity.
wow.
You can use that and you can have it because I believe that you are showing people. I can tell that you used to be a shy person. I'm following you and I
Mm,
coming out of your shell and I see your authenticity just kind of flourishing and you being okay. I think the most thing that I saw was you being okay with your authentic self.
mm.
Which leads me to my next question is what advice would you have for people who are afraid to show their authentic self? Because I've been told over the years, why do you show everybody your heart? And why do you just open yourself up like that? But it's the only way I know how to not be something other than myself.
Mhm.
And so, my question to you is how do you teach people, or what advice would you have from your own personal experiences for people who are really just afraid to open up and expose themselves?
For me, I think there was like levels to the journey,
Yes.
but honestly, it, starting to create a relationship, a direct relationship with Allah God,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because honestly, um, at the root, if I'm pleasing Him and if I am being who He made me to be, flaws and all, every single thing He allowed for me to go through as far as traumatic things in my childhood, everything shaped and molded me to be who I am today.
Yes, ma'am.
So accepting that, accepting His love for me, um, in all of me,
Mm-hmm.
and just again pleasing Him first, by default, everyone else in my life will be proud of me. They will be okay with me, and that's really the root and the core of my authenticity. At least I strive to remember that. Some days it's a little difficult to
This is
do.
hard. You have tough
Yeah.
days, and you and I have that in common. I just think I say, okay, Allah, this is how you made me. This is who I am. Because I went through a phase where I was embarrassed about certain things about myself.
Hmm.
I went through a phase just sharing where I was embarrassed because I wanted to appear normal. Like I had certain skills and certain things about me that I knew were a little bit abnormal. And so sometimes I would try to dumb myself down just to get along, and I would let people pull me down to their level so that they would like me. But I remember that every time I went through something tragic, it was when I was not being myself. Every time. And so that became my sign, like it's because you're not being yourself. And then the other piece is that since I was a young girl, probably 4 or 5 years old, I've been in love with God. I used to hide. I try to be cool and, like, let me just, so that's why I admire what you're doing so much. And I'm so just honored to know you. And I'm really just praying for your massive success, because I see you just sharing yourself, opening yourself up, and just being yourself on a whole nother level. And I see people being attracted to it, whether they like you or not, whether they approve or not. You can't help but be attracted to this level of authenticity, because that's Allah himself, right? He's a creator. So you're a creator. Yeah, you've been. I want to learn about, and I see two businesses for you. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. One is you showing people how to own and monetize their authenticity. Two, you showing business people how to introduce their services and products onto the internet. I see two big businesses for you. Personal services, where you can book individual consultations. Write it down. I see it. I'm telling you. Personal businesses where you can teach people. I used to call myself this. You can use it. I don't care. The authenticity coaching. Right? I see that. And then I see people coming to you because they want to introduce goods and services into the community and knowing how to do it when maybe they don't have that much money for ads and magazines and things like that. That's what I see. Those two businesses.
I like that, because I'm just trying to push everything into like one thing. And I just forget that I can do it all.
You can.
Like there's no limits. I limit myself sometimes in my mind. But I also wanted to add, as far as what helped me become more authentic and just raw, is honestly studying the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan and seeing him do it and seeing how bold he is and how he stands on his words. Honestly, that was like it was just like,
what specific notice that's an important point, and thank you for sharing that, because I extract a lot from the minister and the messenger in terms of even what I do and putting together policies and procedures and even figuring out like my next move, thinking about them. Is there something specific about the minister that you watched or that struck you that gave you more courage and made you feel like, you know what, I can do this?
Honestly, I just go back to the lecture Fear, Faith, and Truth, because that is my absolute favorite lecture. And not just because of the information, but really because he always ties in his own stories, his own experiences of moments in life where, he suffered from anxiety. Because I had really bad anxiety once.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had a lot. I still do suffer from these things, but I do not claim that I suffer from them. So they don't bother me as much as they did. Yeah. But hearing him speaking about, when he was speaking that one time and some man asked him, "Do you really believe that's whatever?" And he had like a gun, and the minister was like, he said his heart was beating, but then he remembered, you're not supposed to be afraid of this. And, I just put myself in, I just add my own personal scenarios.
Yes.
What I hear him say. So actually, when I first joined the nation, a few months into joining the nation, I got asked to join the ministry class. And I again, I have two fires in me. So a part of me, a lot of me rejected the idea completely, but some little small part of me was like, you really want to do that? You need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I pushed through,
Mm-hmm.
and I honestly that doing the little brief 5 minute things, I mean openings on Sundays is what brought me out of my fear of stage fright.
Oh.
And that's really came from seeing the minister speaking on his fears and his anxieties and not allowing that stuff to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
We're not made to fear anything but Allah God.
Mm-hmm.
um so really baby steps, forcing myself to do stuff, because if I wait to just do it out of the whim of things, it's never going to happen, because I always feared public speaking, always feared speaking my mind, because I always thought no one was listening to me. So that's a huge thing that I'm still learning to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to get over that, because people are listening to me, people are being influenced by me, and it's really getting real.
It's
I
very
need to
real.
start
It's
positive.
very real, sis. And
Yeah.
and I don't know about you. I know for myself, I feel like Allah lets me know what He wants me to talk about.
Mm.
I'm a little different from you. I'm not necessarily documenting all like the steps in my life,
Mhm.
but for me, when I study and I go to the Holy Quran or look at a lecture, Allah will give me something, and I only talk about things that I've either had experience with, that I've either failed at or overcome. I don't
Mhm.
do lectures on concepts that I don't know anything about. It's only
Mhm.
stuff that I can connect to in my life. And
Mm.
so I don't know about you. I want to ask, because there's different ways to do it, right?
Mhm.
Do you sit up every day and go, okay, what am I going to film today? Or do you get an inspiration, and how does that work?
Wow. That is a beautiful question. Because I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I have to feel what I'm doing, um, which is again at the same time something I really have to work on, because when it comes, well, not really, um, because I like to stress myself out for absolutely no reason
Okay.
when it comes to marketing sometimes. And I just sometimes I'm like, I feel like I need to do it this way. You got to do it this one way, or you're not going to be able to reach the people right. But I'm really learning that I am what makes me unique, as Brother Ben X always teaches. I am the the business, the service. I
Nobody,
am the attracting power. Yeah.
nobody owns your story, and nobody has the exact same story as you.
Hmm.
Greatest currency is who you are.
Yes, ma'am.
So look at
Yes.
the messenger telling us, accept our own and be ourselves. And some of
Mm.
us think that that's something way out here, but it also has a lot to do with accepting who you are and tapping into that internal currency that he gave you, which is your authenticity.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
let's shift to business. So you have people out here who are looking at people like yourself, and they're like, oh, I don't think this little girl can tell me about how to get my service. You know that's what people are thinking. She don't. They do it to Brother Ben too. They can't tell me how to get my product or service out there.
Hmm.
What advice would you have to someone, maybe an older person, maybe somebody more seasoned in business, um, when it comes to connecting with somebody like yourself? And I tell you why I asked the question, because Brother Ben and I, that's my nephew. Like, we're really close, and he helps me with promoting, and he
Hmm.
got me on the metaverse. He drags me on
I
there, got my
see.
avatar, and I'm all into it now. I change clothes and texting me like Auntie, get on, and I'm like, hold on a second, let me get my outfit together, So I'm clicking. Um,
Mhm.
so I don't have an issue with just learning from anybody, from wherever whoever they are. But starting years ago, 3, 4 years ago, he would help me with putting together content and how to post and watching. And I know so much of us are, a lot of us are going, no, that's for them young people. That's for them. That's for them little girls and little boys. What do you say to that?
I say that I ask people really to look at their own lives.
Hmm.
Like, in 2021, 2022, more people are spending more time on social media than they are in front of a TV.
That's right.
When you're scrolling through Facebook, you're scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are, honestly, now, what do you see every now and again? You see people promoting things, you see ads, whether it's from these big companies or it's small businesses, entrepreneurs that are on these social media platforms because they know how many people are on social media every single day, all day, around the world. And they know that when it comes to, when they get to certain people, influencers, um, whether it's a micro influencer or a major influencer, they know that they can pay these influencers not as much as they would have to pay a TV company or a TV.
For an ad on television.
Yeah, they don't have to spend millions of dollars on that when they can invest a couple 100,000 into this small influencer, which would be money that'll probably change not their life, but it'll do something to them and it'll really help them. And they'll be able to directly reach the people that they want to reach because that influencer will market their product in the way in which people will use that product. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I'll give you an example. When we started raising money for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House, Brother Ben documented his efforts and sold 39 coins, like in the first hour.
See,
so helped us with kicking off of that fundraiser and stuff like that. And we still do those kind of things together. So I think it's important that anybody in the, we're first talking to people in the Black Muslim Business Directory, but companies that are out here that are saying, how do I reach a new market? Not always about changing dollars for dollars, but there's a market that AnNura has and access to people that you can't reach in your corporate setting. You can't reach them. So in order to reach those people, in order to access those customers, she's the person to go to. And I think that's that's right. That's an important thing for you to remember and feel confident that you have access to a whole new market. You're your own story. You're authentic, and you're doing well despite the fact that most of us, especially in the nation who promote the minister and the messenger, we have a lot of shadow banning that happens with us. I was telling Sister Naya yesterday that sometimes on my show, I can look at the chat and I can see like 20 people chatting, but in the corner it'll say only 2 people are alive with me. So they play all these kind of games. And so Brother Ben and I are talking about how to trick the system a lot of times and not using the same hashtags over and over again. These are just tools that you all learn. And probably if you weren't such a righteous sister, you probably would have millions of followers. And you just got to know that.
I think about that sometimes.
Do you? How does that make you feel?
Well, about not having a million followers?
About how the fact that you embrace righteousness.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm all for it. I never saw myself being where I am today, honestly. And I know that if I continue doing the right thing, putting out into the world something people have never seen before, honestly, something that people are yearning for, because we see this world falling apart. We see the government not having a clue what they're doing. We see these quote unquote influencers who are just breaking and falling to pieces.
That's right.
But when people hear that I'm a Miss Louis Farrakhan, they hear someone, really exemplify or just strive to share the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That is an attracting power. That's an attracting force. And that's what I strive to do that. I just strive to show the day-to-day lifestyle of someone who is striving to live up to the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And just to add on to all of this, we are entering into a world in which people want that authentic marketing. We're tired of seeing, just straight up ads. We're tired of seeing. We're tired of being spoken at. We want to be spoken to. And that's the beauty of TikTok. I don't know if you're familiar with TikTok. Or if you're on TikTok.
I follow you on TikTok.
Praise be to Allah. But yeah, on TikTok, I believe that that platform is so huge, not only because the algorithm, I mean the For You page is just so different from any other social media platform, but it's because it's literally just showing people be people. Like, for example, I followed someone last year because she recently gave birth to twins, and the father of the twins did not want to be in the twins' life, and she just started documenting every single day of her life, just holding these two little babies, making milk and talking about her day. And she quickly grew to like a couple million followers. And so now every single video she gets, because it gets more than about a million views, she's getting at least $1,000 something per video every single month. And on top of that, she's getting brand deals from people who want to work with her because they see she has a large platform and she has consistent views. Um, and it's like she didn't do anything but share her story
Yes.
and just stick with the one story and show herself trying to figure it out with these two babies. And honestly, everything is starting to click for me because I guess subconsciously I didn't think that I'd be able to do the same thing as these people that I see blowing up every single day on TikTok and social media. But now I feel like Allah is like, you see you study all of these people do these things. Now it's time for you to do it yourself. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of the lane in which I'm entering in with
I
my
totally
business.
get that because as a young woman, a young follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, um, a lot of people don't know us.
Mm-hmm.
I get that in business where people think you must be a cyborg or something because you can't believe in that and be successful. So I think for you to share your journey
Mm,
as a young Muslim woman, your ups, your downs, your triumphs,
mm,
how you're navigating, what you're learning, your aha moments, as Oprah would say, is very interesting to a lot of people because people think that we must be weird, we must,
mm.
sleep in some bubble somewhere, or they don't think that we have
We don't have fun.
and that we don't have fun or things like that. And even sometimes I think, sis, we may think that about ourselves. So a lot of times
Mm,
if we make a mistake, it's like we just throw the baby out with the bathwater.
mm,
And I always say to every person like yourself that I talk to that no matter what happens, you're going to have challenges, you're going to make mistakes,
mm-hmm.
fall down. You might, hopefully, you don't bust your head and bust your lip. It's going to happen. But what you do is you get up and you
Mm,
keep believing and you hold on to Allah and know the minister's the door.
mm,
And you just keep going. I don't care how embarrassed you get.
mm-hmm.
I don't care how hurt you get. I don't
Mm,
care what people say about you. You just keep going and
mm,
don't stop and don't let go of him. Just keep following.
mm,
Keep following him. Keep following. Keep going. Keep consulting Allah. Keep looking for Allah in every single thing. Times are going to get hard. You're going to have some challenges because Allah is making you. Now He knows. Okay, I know I got AnNura, so let me put a message in her. Let me do something. Let me move her this way. And some of
mm,
those movements can be painful. It can be challenging,
mm-hmm.
but just keep going. Let Allah use you. Let Allah use you. When you feel something, just go, okay. You feel that anxiety sometimes.
Mm,
Okay, Allah, what are you're getting my attention for something. Let me get quiet. What are you trying to show me? What are you trying to say? Or
mm,
not, what are you saying? Not what are you trying to say, but what are you saying? Because I'm trying to hear it.
mm,
But just keep going. You're gonna, life is gonna happen. It's gonna be all kind of stuff, but that's okay. You just keep going. And I definitely see you in a few short years being a huge influence. And that responsibility is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
mm.
You're going to keep growing into it. You have to grow into that next level and go into the next level. You get that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Just
ma'am.
keep growing. And every day, as you get what the world may say older, you're getting newer.
Mm, mm,
Okay. So don't feel like, okay, the clock is ticking. I need to do this and do that. Just keep getting newer, newer and newer and newer and reinventing yourself. and letting Allah fall more and more in love with his creation over and over and over again. And he will bless you with whatever it is that you want.
Wow. All praises to Allah. I really needed that.
Yes, ma'am. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm just excited for your future. That's why I started following you. I just would see you every once in a while, and then I'd see you, and I say, I'm excited for her. I'm excited for her future. And I've always wanted to say that to you.
All praises to Allah.
I've always wanted to say, I think I saw you, maybe it was Savior's Day. One of the Savior, was it? I don't know if it was Savior's Day in Chicago or when we were in Detroit. And I wanted to say to you, just keep going. Just hang in. Just keep going. Don't, your little anxieties and stuff, I'm calling them little because that's what they are. They're just little. And it's just a lot going, listen, right? And you just stop and you listen and go, okay. Or maybe he's just saying, hey, don't think about that. Think about me. There is no God but Allah. At the end of the day, right? There is no God but Allah. At the end of the day, no matter what a person says, no matter what a person does, you don't worry. Something can always happen that you know nothing about, because Allah is up there making men and women every single day. And he's definitely making you, because I've seen your growth. I see the light in your face. And I see those businesses for you.
Wow.
Turn your journey now, turn it into doing for self. Right? You got the influencer money. You're starting to get that. Start coaching people on their authentic self. How do you do it? You just said it. Becoming one with Allah, submitting to him. That whole process. You can have a whole business with showing people how to do that. Wow. And you can have a whole business with showing business people how to turn that corner and introduce their goods and services into a community and into markets that they're not necessarily in. You know, since I've had 2 offers from Korean investors to purchase the Black Muslim Business Directory. Why these Koreans want it? They know that this is a big market of Black people. They got a lot of us on TikTok, right? But this market right here is something about them, and they want it.
Wow.
Allah he gave it all to us. And you right there. You right in front of all the checks. You right in front of all the blessings. Just keep riding the wave.
Yes, ma'am. Wow.
Any questions you have for me? Anything I can help you with real quick in our last 15 minutes? I'm sorry, I talked a lot, but I had so much that was on my heart to say to you.
And I just thank you for saying that, because I needed it.
Oh, praise
because the last few weeks I have been going through it mentally. And that's something that Allah is bringing out of me, you know, the self-doubt, the lack of vision, because sometimes I thought I was over it, but you know, Allah has a way of bringing us something back.
Okay, let's fix that right now. Let's fix that right now. It's like he's pulling you to another level. And you're saying, no, I don't want to go up there. It's scary. So you start doubting whether or not you can be at that level. That's what that doubt is. It's resistance to going to that next level. And what I'm saying to you, just go. Just let go and go. And when you get out up there, get out over your skis, and you get to that level where you don't know what to do, then revelation will meet you where you are. You start going to your Holy Quran. You start going to your lessons. You start going to the minister's lectures. You start pulling on Allah, and you'll be at a whole nother frequency level. And then it'll happen again, and you'll go to the next level, and happen again. You go to the next level. So that doubt, catch yourself. No, this is me resisting going to that next level.
Doubting my ability to do it. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, feeling worthy or unworthy. Don't doubt.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because deep in your heart, there's a desire to want it. And Allah is just answering your prayers. So don't reject him when he answers your prayers. You prayed for it.
True. True. True, true, true.
Anything I can help you with in our last 10, 15 minutes?
How do you stay focused on just one business at a time, or just one thing at a time? I don't know if you do focus on one thing at a time, but how do you consistently have your self-discipline?
So I manage myself. So it's like I have this flow that's coming from Allah, and my job is to manage it. Sometimes I put it in categories, sometimes it crosses different categories, but I'm managing it. And how do I do that physically? Okay, I'll put time on the calendar to do certain things. Maybe this is my time to answer emails. Maybe this is my time to do social media. Maybe this is my time to return phone calls or to do certain things. So I'm managing each of them. And then as I look at those businesses or those thought streams that I'm managing, I figure out where they are and what's next. And so sometimes when I sit down and I open myself up to Allah, I'm asking him like, okay, I have to go down the list of the categories and get myself in that state so that I can ask him. So I manage that flow. So I'm not trying to restrict Allah. You see, I'm not restricting him and saying, no, I'm just dealing with one thing. I don't restrict him. He gives me 20 things and I go, okay, my job is to manage it and figure out what's the timing. Some things are for now. Some things I'm supposed to build a pipeline and worry about later. Some things I nurture. Some things are just for me to give to other people. So I'm not going, Allah, hold on, wait a minute, just wait. Don't give me nothing else. I'm not doing that. Because remember, he wants to make himself known. He has to make himself known to people who know him. So the more you know him, the more he's going to flow through. Right? And the more opportunities you have in different segments of your life to make him known just by being yourself.
Wow. So it's managing, not restricting or putting on hold, but
managing it.
Wow.
Open up and managing. Everything isn't for now. Some things you have to develop. Some things will turn into something else, but you begin first by acknowledging it. Okay, Allah, I see that. I get that. Let me know. Make it clear to me what you want me to do with that. Sometimes it's, Allah, what's our next best move? What are we doing next? Sometimes it's, okay, I feel the urgency in this. Let me do this now. Some things life demands urgency because life will put a time frame on it. So okay, I got to pay this bill. I got to go here. I got to do that. So you're just managing and you're consulting with him every single step of the way. Every step of the way. Look for him everywhere. Everywhere. So tell people, let's give them your website because I want people to hire you. Anybody that's out here in the Black Muslim Business Directory and beyond, hire my sister. We know Brother Ben X is busy. He needs now we need to go to the next market and build that up. But hire my sister if you want to introduce any kind of services or products, if you just need coaching and she's your style of coaching. See, I never feel like there's any competition between us, because some people may say, well, you know what? Sister Saj does more my cup of tea. She can teach me authenticity. But there's people on here now going, I'm going to reach out to AnNura. She's going to teach me authentic because I connect more with her. And so it is what it is. There's no such thing as competition. Allah is coming through. You know, the blades of grass don't compete with the flowers and the trees. And there's lots of trees and lots of grass and lots of flowers.
Yes, ma'am.
Blooms in there themselves. And Allah loves us all. So give me the website or how we hire you.
How can I add the link?
Give it to me. I'll give it to you. I'll put it up on the screen. Okay. Tell me. Or you can put it in the comments in the chat.
Yeah.
See the comments over to the right?
I think I'd rather do that because it's like a link tree type of thing.
Okay. Put it in the comments and then I'll add it to the screen. But anybody out there, if you have a business, especially if you're starting a new business, stop for a minute and don't go the traditional route of advertising. Get with an influencer like my sister here. And okay, I see it. Okay. Let me put this up here. Get with my sister. What you thinking about over there, sis? I see your brain is
just like the shift in kind of the marketing that I can do now for one of my services, because I didn't even really think of really putting or just pushing the fact that, you know, influencer marketing is the now. I wouldn't even say the future. It is the future and it's the now.
It's the now. It's the now. So I've been doing this series on Black Muslim businesses, sis, now. I think it's 50 something weeks. So that's 50 something Black Muslim businesses who are trying to introduce services. And a lot of times people don't have capital. They don't have access to capital. They don't have loans. They don't have a lot of money, but they want to know, okay, I make this lotion, or I make this coat, or I make this dress, or I do waste management, or whatever it is that you do. You want to know, how do I get that out there to a market without spending a ton of money with an advertising person or a marketing person? A lot of times you get ripped off because they may not quite feel your business. See, that's another challenge.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't feel you because they're so busy trying to put you in a box so that you answer all the questions and then they can do what they said that they wanted you to do. But this way, using an influencer like yourself, you can teach them how to use their authentic business. Maybe they just document how well they are, the services. No, let's say you have a cleaning company and you're documenting how good you clean and why you clean and your philosophy behind cleaning. That's something you can show them how to do, and they will get so many more customers than just putting together a fake commercial and popping it out there. Because I'm telling you, that stuff really doesn't work anymore. You can go and buy an ad in a newspaper, a magazine, and in a lot of cases, if people can't connect that ad to a person like yourself, or then they won't even buy the product or service.
And that's what Brother Ben X teaches, value-based content.
There you go.
There's 3 reasons why people watch content. It's to be educated, entertained, or enlightened. So if you can do anything that falls within those 3 lines, you're winning.
You win,
of course.
Educated, entertained, or enlightened.
Yes.
Okay. And that's just the new way of doing it. The first thing I do when I'm coaching businesses is they always say to me, I need help with marketing. I want to be able to send them to a person like you. Go to my sis, tell your story. She's going to help you put together some content, something that you'll do every single day. Some people are like, I don't want to be bothered with that. Well, it's better than paying thousands of dollars that might not work. Right? Showing them how to do it, what to do it. So that whole advertising industry, it's changed, it's different. And at the end of the day, it's all about being Black. And I would say it's all about being Black Muslim, because people want to know how to, because we're the winners. We are. So they'll go to you and you got to hurry up, put together some packages, because we'll leave this up here. You can take clips of this and use it as you want, and show people that what they can do is hire you and set something up on your link tree where they can book sessions with you.
Yes, ma'am. It's all already is in there.
Okay, perfect. Book a session with my sister. Any last thing, any product or service you want to promote before we go?
Other than I am now accepting clients for social media managing. So if you are someone you don't have too much time on your hand and you need someone to manage your entire social media platforms, that is something that I offer. I create the content as well as post and schedule, use the right hashtags, engaging captions, all of that good stuff. I also am accepting clients who need content creators. So if you need someone to edit your content, and then, just to edit your content.
Okay.
I'm working on a service in which I actually come and document and edit the content. But that's in the works. And I also have something called content planning, in which I literally come up with caption ideas, hashtag ideas, and I give you a list of pictures, videos that you should or you could record to get the best results for your social media platform. So it's like a micro social media managing, and that will be on a weekly basis. And we'll beat and talk about your overall goals, and then I help you come up with the content plan that will help you reach that goal.
Okay. I love it. I'm sure we'll work together soon. My brain is flowing on how it's integrate. I'm grateful for you. I love you. I thank you. And I'm praying for your success. And again, like I said, look for Allah everywhere. And remember, the minister's the door.
Yes, ma'am. All praise due to Allah. And thank you again for this amazing opportunity and for every single word that you shared with me, because Allah knows I needed it.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in to the MOEToday series on Black Muslim businesses. Listen, if you're out there and you have a business, make sure you book my sister, engage her, because listen, times have changed. So stop telling me you spent thousands of dollars on marketing and it didn't work. It's because something's wrong. Something needs to be tweaked. And you can go to Sis. You heard her talk about all of her things that she does and the services that she offers. Let me give you a couple of updates. Tomorrow, we're going to have the manifestation series. We're going to continue our conversation on the accomplishments of the Muslims. Last week, we talked about real estate and how it becomes a cornerstone of the development of an economy. And this week, we're going to talk about information. So it should be pretty interesting. So join us right here for the accomplishments of the Muslims. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the page, because this will give you alerts and it'll help us with all the shadow banning and get us more followers. And then lastly, you see scrolling across the bottom, make sure you go to sajdahousedonations.com and help us with the completion of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House. Follow me on social media at Sajda House and repost, retweet. And we got another event coming up at the end of August. So we'll let y'all know so y'all can get your tickets and get in here. All right. Peace and blessings, family. Love you all. And I'll see you all, inshallah, tomorrow evening.
This is Sister Sajda Muhammad. We are proud to announce that the Sajda House commemorative Elijah coins are finally here. As we renovate and restore the former home of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have recycled the old copper gutters and downspouts and created a 1 ounce 39 millimeter coin made of 100% pure copper. Each coin is professionally graded and has its own barcode and registration number. This priceless heirloom, made from recycled copper from the messenger's home, is now available at sajdahouse.com.